Right then, hello, and first of all, apologies. I'm a little bit late this week. Well, a lot late. It's Saturday. I've had a bit of a busy week, and I had to go to hospital on Friday to have a couple of stents removed. So I had a little minor operation. Everything went lovely, swimmingly, and so now I'm a little bit late. Apologies for that. Okay, so getting on to it. I'm going to cover a couple of little areas this week. First of all, we'll do a few winners of a few things. Get that done while I think of it. The winners of £25 voucher to spend in the raffle section are going to Ashley Doctor, who was referred by Barry Flynn, and Annabelle Taylor, who was referred by Sam Waveman. So it was just going to be one, but being as there was only the 2 entries, we thought we'd give them one each. So we upped the prize a bit. So you both, all 4 of you get £25 to spend in the raffle section. So that sorts that one out. And as it so happens, Barry Flint, you was the winner of a mystery pair of cufflinks in the other video. So that's on its way to you as well. Thank you very much. I should say to the people that won the voucher for the raffle section, what you need to do is email John at TGBCH@outlook.com, TGBCH@outlook.com, and let him know that you're the winners. Give him your usernames for YouTube. I've already passed the details on, and he'll be expecting your email, and then we can get the voucher code sent to you, and then you can use them for your cash in your prizes. Thanks very much. Well done. As you might have noticed, we've been listening to what everybody's comments are. I've been answering some of them, not all of them. I'm actually doing a questions and answers video as well, so I'll be covering a lot of the topics in that where I can, and then stuff that we can attend to almost immediately, we are. So we've replaced the navigation on the left hand side now. So if you're looking for anything UK, anything English, 2 shillings, a shilling, a crown, £5 coin, £2, whatever, should be a whole lot easier to find. If you're interested in the other countries, just click on the other countries, the plus symbol, and it will open up the list of countries. At the moment, it's you need to hover over the list of countries, I think, because the colouring has changed also. We're trying a little red, white and blue thing, you know, being the Great British Coin Hunt, so trying a different theme, trying to sort of just change it. Was looking a little bit tired, I thought, and so did you, I think. So let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of the feel. Let me know what you think of the look. Let me know if you're happy with it, if you have any problems with it. That's at least as a basis for us to start. If you like it, then we can keep it, and then we can hopefully work on that and build on that from there. Otherwise, if you don't like it, then we need to change it. So no point doing any more work in the theme department, if you see what I mean. So please let me know what you think of that, and what your thoughts are. Another area I would like you to let me know what your thoughts are the referral program. I've been trying to get that right from the word go, and something tells me that whichever way that I've swung with it hasn't quite been right to capture the imagination, and I'd like to capture the imagination with it. I'd like it to be the best referral program on the internet if we could. So to that end, dry mouth, I think it's the operation yesterday, excuse me a sec. So to that end, we were doing a basic, you refer a friend, they get £5, you get £5. Then I changed it to sort of try and give a big lump, but of course you can only give a big lump if money is spent. So I changed it so that you get £100 each when your referee, person you referred, has spent 600 quid, something like that. Then you get £100 back each. But that may be not what you want. It might be like, yeah, I don't want that because it takes too long, whatever. So what I'd like to do, a bit like the postage, I'd like to put it over to you and say, you people that use the referrals, you people that use the rewards program, you know, the ones of you that know how it works, how would you like it to work? If you had a choice of how that referral was paid out, how would you like it to be? Now, you can't ask for too much, purely and simply because supposing you did something like give you both £20 each or £25 each, what would happen is you would end up having loads of people making up false accounts and referring themselves just to get the 25 quid. You won't be able to stop that happening. I know that some people will go, I didn't even think of that, but you know, they do. So it needs to be on balance. It needs to be a balance that people won't abuse it in that sense. We have to bear that in mind. And it needs to be on balance with making it exciting, making it make you want to go, I want to put some more effort into referring friends to Insight, because I'm really getting looked after by referring friends. You know, I'm doing well out of this. So we need it to do well, we need it to do the bestest it can be in order for you to earn out of it, get your free coins, whatever, by referring your friends and people to the site. And it needs to be on balance. It needs to be not that good that some people will take the lazy route and just refer themselves. Because if we get like multiple accounts at the same people and only one of those accounts is spending money, then obviously we need to look at that and go, well, that needs to leave. So if anyone, by the way, while I'm on that subject, has got more than one account and has opened it by accident or in some way doubled it, whatever, and you would like us to delete it, just email John, tell him to look for it and delete the one that's no good, and we'll do that for you. So it needs to be something that's going to make you excited. It needs to be something that's going to float your boat a bit. It needs to make something that's going to go, yeah, I'm going to tell a few people. So what would you like? How would you like it to be? Because like the postage, once we set this in stone, we'll set it in stone, and that'll be it. It'll be you that's decided it, and we'll take the majority view of what you think, and we will tailor make it best we can to the way that you want it. And that way, that might float your boat a little bit more. Now I'm going to address one area this week that's to do with pricing and how I price, because this is something that comes up again and again and again and again. And in a flash, I suddenly came up with a way in which I think, by using my own personal experience, I can actually put it across to you in layman's terms in a way that I know some of you already do get it, how I price and so on. But for those of you that don't, I think you're just going to get it. Now at the end of this, on the end of the video, there'll be a nice voucher. The voucher this week is going to be worth £25. Nice tasty little voucher. Right, so let's talk about perfect examples here. The Royal Navy £2 HMS Belfast, which I valued some time ago at £25. So in my own view, the value of it has actually gone up now. I just haven't put the price up, but the value of it's gone up. Okay, so and because you can buy the same coin off some people for a tenner and so on, then there's this discussion. It's like, but your values are not correct, and you know, are you valuing it now or valuing it for the future or whatever? So I'm going to try and put it in a way that my explanation now is gonna, if you get my explanation now, it not only covers the Royal Navy HMS Belfast, it will cover all of the coins that I talk about going up in value, like all of the non-release coins and all the rest of it. All of that pricing then falls into place and the penny drops and you go, now I understand where he's getting his pricing from. So first of all, we have to start with the fact that I'm a retailer. You're not a retailer. A lot of people out there selling on eBay are not retailers. I'm a retailer. I don't have a job and do this part-time. This is my job. I get paid for it. I'm on wages. This is my job. And I do this full-time. So I'm not supplementing an income with something I might find. Now, I'm a retailer. We got that. Okay. Now, as you know, I've been ill over the last year, and now I have to have a stoma, and it's something that bothers me when it comes to going out, and it's something that bothers me to socialise in, and it bothers me with, I get anxious just going out, seeing people, whatever. Only because of the way I look, and I don't want it noticeable, that kind of thing. There's a reason for telling you this. So, those of you that have been with us quite a long time, you will remember that I was quite made up when I got a couple of presents for Christmas and for my birthday, and one of which was from Fran, my wife Fran, which is this jumper, and I was sold on it straight away. Now, we'll call this jumper the product, right? I was sold on this straight away. Now, most of you, there will be a product in your life. Like I remember once when many years ago, my Fran was into Wrangler jeans. They're the only jeans that she would buy, Wrangler jeans. So everybody has a something. You all have a something. There'll be a something that you know. And because you know that item, whatever that product might be, you know what the price of that product is. You know what the retail price of that product is. You know, just in any conversation. And whatever that item is, if you just even heard somebody talking about selling that item that you use, that you like, for a certain price that's below a price that you know you can't buy it for, your ears will prick up like that. Oh, I'm interested in that. I like that, I use them. Like me. Now these jumpers, I'm going to stand up for this one. So, I might need to go back a bit. Right, whoops. That didn't work, did it? So, I'll stand on tiptoes. So there's my jumper, right? Long, and you don't notice. So what we have is we have a product that, like Apple, like iPad, iPhone, I've fallen into. It's like I fell in love with that product. That is the product for me. I like that product. Now, this was bought for me, and it was bought for me for about 50, 60 quid. It was on sale. The retail price of this jumper is £100. £100 for this jumper. I went in, we've got a local garden centre, it's called Gord's, and we go in there and they've got a clothing section in this garden centre, and they've got weird fish stuff in there. It's a weird fish jumper, and they've got this stuff in there, and they've got this exact same jumper in there. Now I fell in love with this so much, I bought different colours, so I've probably got about 5 of them, 6 of them now, and average price about 50, 60 quid each. A couple I've got for good gifts, and a couple I've gone out and bought. For me, 50, 60 quid is like, oof, it's a bit of an ouch for a jumper, for a top, but it suits a purpose. I'm sold on it, it's what I want, so I buy one, and I buy them in different colours. Now this garden centre's got one in there, and it's a nice shade of blue, and I really, really like it, but the price is 100 quid. Now I look at my wages, the real wages that I'm on, and I think 100 quid, I like it, and I haven't got that shade of blue, and I quite like that shade of blue, and I think it might look nice, give myself all the reasons to buy it, but I'm not going to spend 100 quid on that jumper. Right, now that £100 jumper, that is the retail price of these clothes. That particular one, I haven't seen it in my price range yet. If I see that one in my price range, I'm going to go and buy it. The minute I see that for 50, 60 quid, that colour, or they reduce it in a sale, I'm going to buy one in my size, because I like it. But I'm not going to pay 100 quid, not on my wages. If my wages were double what they are, all things being relative, double or treble, whatever my wages are, then I might think 100 quid, it don't matter, I'm not bothered. But what my wages are now, to me, 100 quid, that's too much for a jump. So no matter how much I like it, I'm not going to buy it. But if it comes into my price range, I'll buy it. So, I am that retailer. That's the retail price, 100 quid. I'm the retailer, I retail the coins. And the retail price of a Royal Navy HMS Belfast, its retail value is beyond 25 quid. I valued it at 25 quid, that's what it's in the guide at. And when I do the next guide, its value would have gone up, in my opinion. That's the value that I put on it as a retailer, because like the man that's selling those jumpers at 100 quid, I sell those at 25 quid. And like the man that sells these jumpers at 100 quid, I don't sell 50 in a week. But he sells them, I sell mine. Now, if I see, and I have done, at one point I think I bought 100 off of somebody or 200 off of somebody at £4 each. I snap their hand off at the elbow at that price. I buy them all day long at £4 each. Because that would be like the man selling the jumpers suddenly being able to legally and legitimately buy those jumpers for £8 each. He sells them for 100 or £10 each. He's going to buy as many as he can get at that. And he'll put them in the storage. Doesn't mean he's pricing them for the future. That's the price they sell for now. But if he got the chance to buy a pallet full and buy 1,000 jumpers or something, he ain't going to sell them all at £100 within a few months. They're going to sit there and sit there and sit there for a long time, but they will sell, and they will sell to those people who's got the price bracket, the disposable income above mine, that can afford to go in and just go, yeah, I'll have one. So, but that doesn't make the product worth 20 quid because he's bought them for 10 or 20 quid each. The product is still worth £100. The product, the £2 Royal Navy HMS Belfast, is worth 25 quid all day long. That's the price it's worth. As a retailer, that is the price that I've sold it for and continue to sell it for. Just because I might buy them at a cheaper price doesn't make them worth cheaper price. They're still worth 25 quid. And even though I may not sell them all for the next, may take me 2 years to sell them, I don't care. I know the retail price of them, and when they come along at a cheap enough price, I'll buy them. I won't pay 10, 15 quid each, but the day may come where I would pay £10 each. Not at the moment, but the day may come where I would. So when I say to you, they're out there for less than £10 each, go and buy them, I'm not cheapening my product, and I'm not devaluing my product. I'm the retailer letting you know, actually, these are £100 each. You know, so if you go and see them somewhere else and you can get them for 60 quid, or I'll even tell you a couple of places where you can get them for 50, 60 quid. You know, it doesn't make them worth that. This is what they're worth, but you'll get a good deal if you can go and get them at that price. And if the man with the selling the jumper said that to me, I'd go, thanks very much for that. I'll go and have a look. And if I got that same jumper, I'll go back and say, cheers. That was nice of you. Didn't have to do that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm letting you know what the retail price is. I'm letting you know that out there are some cheaper. And if you want to invest a few quid and just put them aside, if you get them cheap enough, go and buy them, put them away. If you find them in your change, even better. Don't look at it and think, oh, I found loads of them. If you found loads of them, you found loads of good little golden nuggets. You found loads of £100 jumpers at £10 each. That's what you found. So that's how that works, and that principle works for everything. So when I look at now at pricing for the future, and I say, okay, in 10 years' time, well, I do hate going by the Kew Gardens because it's like, oh, it's the only one we ever talk about. But you have to go by the Kew Gardens because it is the one to go by. 210,000 or so in circulation, and it's still a £100 coin all day long, apart from the fakes, of course. So anyway, I digress. Where was I? So yeah, so you have the Kew Gardens to go by. So I take a look at the non-release coins, and I look at my own logic. It's my own thinking. I'm not reading it from a book. No book has been written for this. There is no precedent for any of this, and no one's prepared to stick their neck out and say, well, I am. I'm not frightened of looking silly. As you know, I've made myself look like a plonker many, many times, and you know, so what? So I'm quite happy to stick my neck out and say what I think that they'll be worth and what I think they'll be worth to me. And the prices I give are the prices I think they'll be worth to me. It's going cold, so I've got to have a serve. So, when I say a Frankenstein, in my opinion, in 10 years' time is going to be around 150 quid, I think as a retailer, going by the Kew Gardens, going by the past that we can go by, because there's only so many few precedents that we can go by, and one precedent is the Kew Gardens, so we can go by that. We can also go by the Council of Ministers. It's rarer than the Kew Gardens, 2.5 times rarer than the Kew Gardens from a circulating figure point of view, but it's not 2.5 times the cost. It should be. Its value should be about 250 quid. That's what its value is. But imagine me trying to convince you the value of that coin. That's a £250 retail price jumper. You're not going to get that in a million years. So I don't even talk about that. It's like no one's going to get where I'm coming from there. So we use the Kew Gardens. So that's the one that we can go by. So the one that we go by, 5 years ago as a retailer, I could have bought that for less than 20 quid. I can't buy that for less than 80 quid now. 80 to £100 probably. If I shopped around wholesale, maybe I could get it for around about the 80, 70, 80, I don't know. But I haven't tried. But it's got to be those figures. And this is 5 years later after I could buy it for less than 20 quid. And this is 10 years after that coin was minted, 2009. It is an ideal precedent to go by, even though half of us don't want to go by that precedent, but it is an ideal one to go by because it was minted in 2009. That's the mintage figure it had. It's now 2019. It's exactly 10 years later. And that's what that coin has achieved in value. So a coin that is not in circulation, one little bit, and is only available from the private sector, if you like, is going to go up a lot more in value, in my opinion, as a retailer. I don't look at it as a collector, I look at it as a retailer. I'm a seller. Supply and demand is where my knowledge base is. And it's where my interest is. You know, I don't pretend that I'm an ex-collector that's collected for years and knows his stuff and decided to open a retail outlet. I've always been honest about the fact that I found a penny in my pocket. I didn't know what I was going to do. I looked at that and thought, I wonder, sold it, and the rest is history. At a time when I was skint. I didn't know anything about coins. I've learnt it all the way through since. So there's a lot of people out there that know an awful lot more than me about coins. But I do know the retail, supply and demand, and the retail side of it from the day I started to now. What I've sold coins for, what I've achieved, what the retail price has been, each by the dozen or by the 100 in some cases. And knowing that I can reach and achieve those figures on those certain coins, I would be daft to sell them cheaper. I'm a retailer. I know what it's worth. So when they come my way and they come my way cheaper, I buy them, I invest them, I stick them on the shelf because I know that when I've sold mine, I'll start selling them. So I will buy all those £100 jumpers I can get. If I'm that £100 jumper retailer, I'll buy them all I can get for 15 or 10 or 20 quid each. If they're costing me £40 wholesale and suddenly I can buy them for £15 each off eBay, I'll buy all I can get, buy them all. Put them up there, buy all the birthday presents that nobody wants, don't know the value of the jumper. Buy them all when they put them up for 15 quid. Buy it, put it on the shelf, put it in your own stock. And so, because I'm a retailer, and because a lot of people out there are not retailers, and because people are got jobs and one thing and another, you're able to find them in your change, and you're able to go, well, I'm happy with a tenner. I've just found a £2 coin in my change. It hasn't cost me any money. I'm happy to stick that on eBay and sell it for a tenner. That doesn't make it worth a tenner. That means you're happy to sell it for a tenner. Just like you found an £100 jumper, brand new in the wrapper, legally, because they've given a load of them out for free, and you're one of the lucky people that's got one, wallet, and you decide, I'm quite happy to sell it for 15 quid. List it, put it up for 15 quid, and then the dealer comes along, you buy it. I'm that dealer. I'm the dealer that sells to you and other dealers. And so that's exactly what I will do. That's not pricing it for the future, it's pricing it for now. And as I say, the price of the Royal Navy HMS Belfast, that's going to go up in value. So I hope that really, really, really sort of clarifies it and clarifies how I get the prices that I do. You may think he's off the wall with them prices. I may be off the wall compared to someone else selling that coin, but I'm the retailer. So at the time when I'm selling that coin for 150 quid, you might be getting it out of your collection and going, well, it's selling for 150 quid. I'm happy to get 120 or 130 or 100. I'll list mine for that. That might come at a time when you need 100 quid. And so you'll sell it for the 100 quid. Whatever. Doesn't make the coin worth any less. The coin will be worth what the coin is worth when it sells at that price. When coins, any of those non-release coins sell at £150 each, then that's when they become worth £150 each. It's worth whatever anybody will pay for it. And if the market at that point means that people are paying £150 each or £200 each for a coin, then that's what it's worth, But we won't know any of that until it happens. So on the new guides that I do write, which I won't be working on those for about a month or so, but when I do write those guides, I'm going to put on the guides what I say the retail cost is or the retail value is of an item now, and what I think that item will be worth in 10 years. I'll have a go at doing that, stick my neck right out on the block and say what it's worth now, what it's going to be worth then, and we'll all be able to sit and watch and see. So I really, really, really hope this has been helpful. If it has been helpful, please do share it or show someone. It all helps. I'm trying to get the subscribers up. We're nearly up there. And thanks very much. Oh, now the voucher code, we'll make the voucher code, capital letters, Belfast. Don't tell me off for shortening it. This is for the voucher code. Belfast. B-E-L-F-A-S-T. Belfast. Capital letters. When you put in B-E-L-F-A-S-T, don't put a space, stop there, click apply. And that will give you £25 off when you spend £82.50. So if you've been saving up for a few weeks, have a lump this week, spend £82.50. Now, spend £82.50, you'll get a lot of times that on the points if you pay by bank transfer. Work it out, it's about 20 times the points, isn't it? So you'll get 1,600 points, you'll get 20% of that back. So that makes this week's voucher code worth an awful lot. Puts a lot of points in your account, and those points are worth you getting your free coins. So spend £82.50 and put in the voucher code Belfast, and you'll get £25 off. And there's only, however the number of subscribers are on our video is the number that's available. Normally I know I should have done that by now, but I'm telling you it, and then I'm going to go on and make the voucher code and look and see how many are available. I think it's around about 700 is what the number of vouchers that will be available, around that figure. So use it or lose it. They're live for as long as they haven't been used, and it's one per person, always. So use it or lose it, pass it on to a friend by all means. If someone else doesn't want, one of the subscribers don't want to use it, then you'll feel free to pass it on to a friend. All right, many thanks, and I think that's it for this week. I don't think there's anything more to tell you, apart from thanks very much for sticking with us, and tomorrow I'm going to try and catch subscribers out. If you're a subscriber, I've got a little bonus coming tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye for now.